Alright, welcome back. So, this is the part of the course where we talk about time frames. Now, a lot of people, beginner traders, when they first get into it, they really don't know what time frames are. I didn't know what time frames are. I used to think they're just candlesticks. I didn't even know time frames are a thing. But time frames are a thing in trading, and it's crucial to understand the difference between them and why different time frames um, are more effective than others. So, first of all, what is the difference between time frames? Alright, so let's say I'm in the hourly time frame right now, which currently I'm in. One candlestick represents 1 hour. So each one of these candlesticks represent 1 hour. Even these doji candlesticks, they represent 1 hour. Every single candlestick on this chart represents 1 hour. Whereas if I was to go into the 15-minute, each candlestick represents 15 minutes. So that means it's kind of like a resolution. You kind of increase your resolution. So these four candles represent 1 hour. See the difference? That's why it's kind of very useful to have different time frames because it's kind of like magnification. It's kind of like resolution. Um, you get to see the charts in more detail. But higher time frames. Ideally, trades on higher time frames, even if it has the same risk management or if it's the same sort of, if it's the same kind of trade. If you enter a trade through price action or indicators, or let's say you see a huge bullish candle, you enter a trade from there. Entering trades from that on a higher time frame holds way more pips. So let me just show you now. So let's say entering this trade from pink to there is about 70 pips. Alright, so because it holds more pips, one huge candle on the hourly time frame has more pips than a huge candle on the 50-minute. So a huge candle we found on an hourly time frame holds about 50 pips, but on the 50-minute it's only 27. Obviously, ideally it's around, if one of them holds 50, one of these holds 12.5, but that's how it is. So basically, larger time frames, trades on larger time frames hold more pips, which means your win percentage is going to be a lot higher than you know your win percentage if your time frame is lower, if that makes sense. So longer time frames hold way more pips. It holds a lot more pips, and it's a lot more reliable. However, the problem with longer time frames is that you can use this exact same risk management. You can go for a 1 to 3 risk reward ratio, but the pips won't be the same for one. For two, yeah. If let's say I'm using the daily time frame or the weekly time frame, me using the daily is a lot riskier than me using the 50-minute or the hourly because it creates room for fundamental announcements. Now, fundamental announcements create a lot of the time they create a break of structure. So let's say GDP reports or that kind of stuff. It creates a break of structure most of the time in the currency market. That's why it's good to keep your trades short and effective. That's why you shouldn't, you should try avoiding. Me personally, I avoid trades on daily, 4 hourly. I enter trades on hourly, but my entry time frame is 15 minutes just so I can get a bit more detailed analysis just before I enter the trade, so I can detect what is the perfect entry. Because I'm trying to catch sniper entries. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's better to catch a clean entry than a riskier one because, like I said, markets go on stop hunts. So you've got to make sure your time frames are, quite short, especially if you're a beginner, because fundamental announcements, break of structure, yeah. But yeah, risk management should be the same. I mean, if you enter a trade, let's say you enter a short trade on the 1 hour. Is this 1 hour? Yeah, 1 hour time frame. you're gonna place your stop loss just above this wick. A few pips above this wick, you're gonna place your take profit around here, in this next level, or there. I mean, either way you would have won the trade, but let's see you placed it around there. Um, on this time frame, how many pips is that? 69 pips. Let's go to the 4-hour time frame. The same traded opportunity on the 4-hour time frame holds more pips, because if you know how to use risk management, if you know your strategy is similar to mine, you'd have placed your stop loss or take profit around there. You'd have caught a bit more candles and you'd have caught way more pips. So here around 90 pips, 90 to 100 pips. But yeah, you need to experiment with your time frames, especially when you're formulating a strategy. Um, screen time, as a matter of fact, screen time is a lot. Like, you'd think that higher time frame means more screen time, but it's actually the other way around. Higher time frame means less screen time because you just enter a trade and you tend to just let it play out. You don't really stay at your screen watching for anything, watching to move your stop loss to break even and stuff. No, you just enter the trade, you let it play out, and you stay away from your charts. Do whatever the hell you want to do. You know what I'm saying? Go enjoy your day, and you come back. I mean, a few hours later, and the trade's finished. It's better to make it passive than stay at your screen the whole day, the whole way throughout it. Because there's a lot of scalpers on the 15 minute. I mean, these lot, they spend hours from their screen. Scalpers on the 1 minute. So their wins are a lot smaller, but it's a lot more monitored, a lot more regulated, because they just enter trades quick, take the whatever profit they get given, and they leave the markets. But yeah, experiment with the time frames. I use the hourly time frame, then I use the 15-minute time frame just to zoom in and enter. So let's say I'm on a 15-minute time frame and I see a bearish candle, a huge bearish candle, a bullish pin bar, or bearish, but whatever candle I see, which gives me the green light to enter the trade. But yeah, like I said, you have to keep, keep watching different time frames just so that you have more confirmation. But yeah, make sure you experiment with time frames, especially when you're formulating a strategy. Make sure you have two different time frames, one for analysis, one for entry. But yeah, let's move on to strategies.